In the previous chapter, we focused on individual choices and individual traits. The delinquency was the product of a rational decision made after weighing the benefits and the costs, or that it was the result of an individual trait that the delinquent possessed. But these views fail to account for the consistent social patterns in the delinquency rate, that being the delinquency rates are much higher in the poorest of inner city areas. If delinquency was the result of an individual choice or trait, then it seems to follow that delinquency would be spread more equally across the country, but that is not the case. That's not what the research shows. So in this chapter, we will discuss and explore the social factors of delinquency, the social structure theories, the socialization or social process theories, as well as the reaction theory, which is also called the labeling theory, and the critical theory. We'll discuss all of these, along with reviewing how each of these theories plays a role in preventing delinquency. But let's talk about social factors. What are the social factors believed to cause or affect delinquent behavior? We have 3: interpersonal interactions, social conditions, poverty, and racial disparity. Interpersonal interactions, these are the social relationships with families, peers, schools, jobs, the criminal justice agencies, for example, cops or law enforcement, courts, the probation system, social services. They all play a role in juvenile behavior. And a disruption in any one or more of these relations has been linked to delinquency behavior and crime. Social conditions: political unrest or political mistrust, economic stress, and family disintegration. Those types of social conditions have been linked to delinquent behavior and crime. Poverty. We talked about poverty already in chapter 1. In the U.S., poverty in the U.S. is more prevalent now than it ever has been in the last 30, 40 years, which affects everyone, all ages, all genders, all race, and all ethnicity, or ethnic groups and background. Poverty is the severest among young families under the age of 30. The federal poverty level, this is a little bit of a review from chapter 1, the federal poverty level is unrealistic. 24,000 is what the federal government seems to believe that a family of 4 should be able to live on. Nearly 7 million children live in extreme poverty, which means families are living on less than $12,000 a year for a family of 4. 45% of American children are considered living in low-income families. Minority children, more likely than whites, are living in poverty. Living in poverty can have lifelong effects on children, including cognitive achievements, educational attainment, nutrition, physical and mental health issues, and social behavior. And they lag behind education. They're less likely to graduate from high school. So poverty has an effect on delinquent behavior. And the last social condition is racial disparity. Racial disparity exists. It's not just racial disparity. We have social and economic disparities. All of these take a toll on minorities. Minorities make significantly less money than Caucasian, which allows the whites to have more advantages economically, socially, and politically. And these advantages allow whites to live more comfortably in secured and protected areas. Minorities don't have these privileges. Also, they're forced to go to schools that are unfunded and deteriorated. They are less likely to graduate, which leads to unemployment, which can lead somebody into a life of committing crimes. And the research shows that the unemployment rate is higher for African Americans than any other group. The criminal justice system routinely treats minority youth less favorably, and this results in the youth potentially having a criminal record at an early age. And what happens when you have a criminal record? It's hard to find a job, there's unemployment issues, there's stigma attached, and this this number, is extremely disproportionate. African Americans alone constitute nearly half of this country's prison population. So racial disparity, another social factor. Let's begin with these factors in mind. Let's begin exploring the most prominent social theories of delinquency that are based on the effects of those social problems and social relationships. We have social structure theories we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about social process theories. We're going to talk about critical theories. And within each one of these theories, there are various views and perspectives that make up what falls under the radar for each particular theory. So social structure theory has a number of views and perspectives, social process theories as well, and the critical theories. So that's what we're going to explore in this chapter. And the next video is going to start with our overall discussion with regards to social structure theories.